Hey everybody, Demi Heals here, and we're taking a little bit longer of a break before getting back to the Assaultus team to look at a couple figures that you can find on shelves at local stores. Well, at least theoretically. As part of the second wave of Earthrise, the Datsun brothers get a new mold in the form of Smokescreen, and a small preview of the Prowl Amazon exclusive was shown off as Walgreens exclusive Earthrise Blue Streak. Now, since these figures are both slight remolds of each other, we're going to look at them together. Since he's the easier one to find, let's start looking at Smokescreen's robot mode. While I don't have any personal connection to this character since I didn't grow up with an incarnation of Smokescreen in the shows I watched until rewatching Prime later on, I do quite enjoy the way this guy looks. I do find it odd that his traditional 38 on his doors has been replaced with an 80, but I assume I could find some toy hack stickers or something to fix that if I really wanted to. I love the little heels that fold down to elevate his wheels off the ground, and I love that they can be folded up to give him a sort of roller skate or Heelys mode. The bumper bust looks splendid on this guy, and I'm so happy they gave him this molded bumper instead of making it an obvious simple recolor of Prowl like they did for the Generation Selects figure. Also, while I can't compare directly to the Gen Selects figure since I don't have it, the Siege Barricade figure shares the same head sculpt, so comparing the Earthrise Smokescreen to that head sculpt, I like Earthrise's more cartoony aesthetic for its mold. And I'm excited to see that Earthrise Barricade tote that head sculpt for that 2-pack with Punch and Counterpunch they're doing. I will so review that when I get my hands on it. And I quite enjoy Smokescreen's shoulder cannons, though I almost wish they were a different color to differentiate them from the rest of his mainly blue upper body. Same thing on his gun, too. I love the design of it, but it almost blends into the blue of the upper torso too much for me. Meanwhile, looking at Blue Streak, it's immediately obvious that his bumper bust is much more in line with Prowl's soon-to-be-released design, which I so prefer with this color scheme over the other one. Seeing the test shots on the back of the box with the Smokescreen chest just looks off by comparison. I am noticing a slight mismatch on the coloring of his arms in comparison to the rest of his body, with a slightly lighter gray and a slightly darker red. But to be honest, I like the little color mismatch, and it helps the gun stand out as well, being in that lighter gray. I didn't mention it with Smokescreen, but another thing these guys do that I like is this fold-down foot filler on the inside of each leg. On Smokescreens, it blends in with the natural shadows being created with a nice black color, but on Blue Streaks, it almost accents the gray insides of his legs with a burst of that red plastic. I also love Blue Streak's painted rear bumper on his feet, and I kinda wish Smokescreen had gotten a similar treatment. Also, with a quick comparison to his Siege 35th anniversary release, I do quite enjoy the fact that the Earthrise figure actually feels like Blue Streak in terms of his head, as opposed to looking like Prowl in terrible cosplay. I also proportionally like the chunkier legs and slightly shorter arms on this figure compared to the Siege versions. Now, for posability on these fine gentlemen, they feature the exact same range, with a ball joint at the head, a rotation at the shoulder, though the wings do end up blocking the rotation just a tad in the back. Arm moves out again if you untab the shoulder. They've got a swivel at the upper arm, a super nice elbow bend, a wrist swivel, a wonderful waist swivel that's only very minorly impeded by the hood on their backs, a nice high kick, and unfortunately, due to how the waist is lined up, not as good of a kick back, but they still have a split that makes me jealous. Also, fun little tidbit with the split here, just like their Siege figures, it is possible to tab their splits together to make a sort of Datsun totem of sorts. Anyways, they've got a thigh swivel, a superb knee bend to get that Captain Falcon forward air on the go, a frankly absurd ankle pivot for these guys, and a nice hinge on the foot. These guys clearly saw how the Siege mold was alright, and chose to kick it up several notches, in fact. And they still managed to keep a decent size comparison as well. For those size comparisons, here they are with my Siege Blue Streak and Barricade, who is here to be my surrogate Smokescreen. With the Iron Trans Legends class Blue Streak and Smokescreen they did, and with the subject of next week's review, PS13 Impetus, or Vortex of the Combaticons, if you know him by that name. Now then, enough sneaking future reviews into this one. Let's get to the transformations. And here we have their vehicle modes. I personally was honestly quite a big fan of the Siege Datsun transformation, but after playing with these guys, I can say they definitely won up to that mold in my book. These guys managed to take a very similar design of transformation and give it two completely different vibes. I see Smokescreen almost racing across the track already, and I almost thought I passed Bluestreak on the road 2 days ago. Of course, if you don't like your vehicles brimming with weapons, you can take them off, but come on, they're giant robots, keep the guns on! Another one-up these guys have on the Siege models, they can open their doors. At least, better than the Siege ones can. There also isn't the best of interiors to show off, but if you really wanted to, you could have a miniature posed with the door open like a badass getting out of their car in an action movie. Or maybe a guy getting out of his car in a T-Rex costume for a kid's birthday party. I don't know their life. The wheels on these guys are also quite nice, and are most suitable for, as the wonderful Hugh Adams would put it, a doot-de-doot-de-doo. Which, also, small side note, I ordered the Rodimus Unicronus figure a while back to add him to my Shattered Glass collection I want to start, and the day it shows up is the day he posted his Rodimus Unicronus review. Spooky coincidence for Halloween, I guess. Anyways, these guys size up pretty well with the rest of the Chug collection so far. Here they are with the Siege Bluestreak and Barricade, again, surrogate Smokescreen, with the Iron Trans Legends Datsuns, and with Impetus. I mean, Impetus is MP scale, but honestly, with this one specifically, these guys still look pretty good. Anyways, to give these guys a rating, I would give them a solid 8 out of 10. They are a definite improvement on the Siege versions, and a great buy if you can actually find them on shelves at MSRP. I just happened to get lucky in finding Bluestreak at my local Walgreens and the Wave 2 of Deluxes on a side display at Walmart, so good luck on finding your own. Now I just have to hunt for the Wave 3 Deluxes of Earthrise. Oh boy. Thank you guys so much for watching. Honestly, I am super excited to continue doing this review stuff. And if you didn't notice, this week, we had some gameplay start on the channel. I've been wanting to start this for a while, but I'm so happy to actually get the gameplay going as well, because, like, the two things that my room has in terms of decoration is video game stuff and Transformers. So I'm super excited to bring those two together on this channel. The Pokemon Nuzlocke for Sword, I'm probably going to do a catch up for 1 through 6 because the audio sucks on them. So I understand if you don't want to watch that one, but definitely the Heart Gold playthrough. It's my first time in the Johto region. Go check it out if you haven't yet. And then, of course, all the previous reviews. Go check those out if you haven't yet. I'd love to see you, and I'd love to hear from you guys. If there's something you want to see, something you might have already seen, let me know. I'd love to hear from you, and of course I'll respond if I can. And, as always, have a great rest of your day, everybody. Bye.